Today, CNBC took an electric car on a West Coast road trip. We tell you how it went. Plus, lawmakers plan to fund part of the new infrastructure bill with crypto tax rules. And finally, Uber wants to attract new drivers by helping them learn another language. I'm MacKenzie Sigalos, and this is CNBC After Hours. Stocks finished higher despite drifting lower earlier in the day. It was the companies that benefit from the economic recovery that performed best and outweighed some of the stocks that traded lower on COVID fears. Car makers like Ford and General Motors also made gains today and have actually outperformed Tesla shares this year. Both companies are rolling out electric vehicles in the hopes of eating away at Tesla's lead, and so far it's working. According to Kelley Blue Book, Americans bought more than 118,000 EVs in the second quarter, and Tesla's share of those sales is shrinking. It made up 64% of sales, down from 83% a year ago. But Tesla has a massive lead on infrastructure with its supercharger network. That said, is it actually practical to drive these non-Tesla vehicles on a long road trip? CNBC's Brian Sullivan hopped in an EV so that he could tell us.
We wanted to go out from this mine of rare earths in the middle of the California desert and drive to San Francisco in a fully electric car to test out just how good the grid may be and what it's like to take a longer road trip in an all-electric car. We really began our trip in Mountain Pass, California, which is just a few miles over the Nevada border. We charged to 100, a full battery charge. It felt great in the Polestar 2, by the way, Volvo's electric brand, and we set off from Mountain Pass, California to Barstow in about 105 to 110 degree heat. When you're cranking the air conditioning, it uses a lot more power, or at least it seems to. Plus you're climbing up some mountains and going down. We learned uphill bad, downhill good. The car regenerated energy on the downhill braking parts, but used more up. We left Mountain Pass with 100%, rolled into the Barstow Walmart at 51%, went about 100 miles. So there you go. This was our first real leg, and we realized, all right, we're going about 100 miles on half the charge, so the range would be about 200 while we're cranking the air conditioning. It's a smooth run to Bakersfield, but we rolled in at I think 18% charge. We didn't want to get below that, so we thought about stopping to top off, but then we didn't. Rolled into a Hampton Inn because you had to find a hotel that had a charger. It was a charge point, it was slow, but overnight, about a 9-hour charge, it got us back up to 90%, and it was free. Leg 3 of the trip, I think this is really where the whole thing kind of hit us hard, because we found a bunch of chargers at a Shell gas station, ironically, no problem. We got some water, we got some coffee, and then we just stood there for like 40 minutes, literally baking in the sun. Now we looked across the road and the Tesla supercharging station had a roof on it. I think it was a solar roof, but the point is, it had shade. All right, arriving in San Francisco and thinking about it that first night, here's kind of my take. The electric cars are awesome. They are fast, they are fun to drive, they're quiet, highly technical, some cool features. But on a road trip of longer than 200 miles, you are gonna have to stop. You may have to stop in an area where you don't wanna stop, where there's not much to do, where some of the chargers are not as fast as advertised. Ultimately, if EVs are the future, and they are likely to be a big part of it, if not the whole part of it, it's actually a bigger real estate play. Give people a place to stop, somewhere to shop, something to do. And on our trip, we would have killed for air conditioning anywhere.
Okay, let's get to today's numbers round. We'll start with $28 billion. Lawmakers finally released details of the long-awaited infrastructure bill, and it comes with some changes to how crypto gets taxed. The bill would raise $28 billion through new crypto tax regulations, like requiring brokers to report customers to the IRS. Now, some have warned that the rule could drive investors and businesses out of the U.S. Next, 24. Uber is desperate for more drivers on its platform, and it's tackling the problem with a unique incentive. Drivers can now access 24 different languages for free through the Uber app, thanks to a partnership with Rosetta Stone. The lessons are even tailored to common conversations that you'd have in an Uber. And finally, 385,000. Thousands of people descended on Chicago for Lollapalooza this past weekend. How many exactly? Well, according to Chicago PD, around 385,000 music fans attended the 4-day festival. Many people criticized the event for being overcrowded and mostly maskless. Organizers did require a negative COVID test or proof of vaccination, but a health expert from Northwestern University told CNBC that these measures can't really ensure that risk is reduced. For more news about how the Delta variant is hitting businesses and the economy, go to CNBC.com and download the CNBC app. That's it for After Hours. We will be back here every Tuesday and Thursday, so be sure to catch us then.